Hey, Rockwell. So I found the dye in Owengila. It was red.
Okay.
And I looked, I fished for a little while after that. And then I went looking for another bear and some jackals.
Before we go through this, you completing your time here?
I think I only got like 5 minutes left.
Yeah, you're only gonna have a few minutes left.
I wanted to arrive on time, so yeah.
Yep, that's fine. I just want to.
Yeah. Them badgers are some sons of bitches. They're so quick. My goodness, I was trying to get a badger. Them things are quick.
Okay. So I'll just go through a couple basics. How much ammunition do you have left with your bolt action?
I have 9 bullets and 5 in my bolt.
Okay. Roughly half of it.
Yeah.
Were you able to attain a grizzly hide?
I was not. All I was able to get was the black bear and the skunk.
So no possums, no badgers.
No, I couldn't get any possums or badgers.
No coyotes.
No, I couldn't find any coyotes. I heard some earlier. I couldn't find them.
Okay.
I was able to get some wolves, but that wasn't on the list. So, but that's kind of like a big coyote. Yeah, and I got the skunk.
Were you able to catch any fish?
I caught a rock bass. And so I stopped fishing. I only fished for about 20 minutes, I'd say.
Okay.
And I thought I found where you mine for gold, but I guess I was wrong because it was like a long wooden thing with water running through it. I thought that's what I was looking for the gold, but I bought the pan, but I wasn't able to mine for gold.
Okay. You weren't able to pan for gold?
No, not pan for gold. I just didn't know what I didn't know where the gold panning area was.
Right. There's a couple locations. Because after this we'll go through and we'll just check the location, like the dial locations, whether you found them or not.
Yeah, I found the one.
You found one?
Yeah, the red dye.
Okay. Did you attempt to go Mount Sean at all, Shan?
No, I didn't have time. I was spent most of my time hunting and fishing.
Right. Okay. With everything there, I'll just let you know now that you definitely failed.
Oh wow!
I believe you've collected less than half of the things that are needed.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the animals is luck finding the animal that you're looking for.
Yep. Yep. No, I completely understand. I've definitely been there. I'll be giving you a few tips and kind of expectations of how you might be able to find or even benefit yourself, whether not for another trial or for another trial if you wish to go on one, or just rangering in general. But most of the time, the recommendation when doing a trial is to try to seek out the landmarks first, and then attain or happen upon these animals and or herbs depending on your location as you're going from A to B.
Okay, well, I will say I think it's yeah, I think it's a success in that I didn't get killed by the wolves. That was good.
Yep,
that was good.
But I wish wolves was on there. That would have been great.
Yeah. We gotta save a lot of recruits that are on trials, so that's good we didn't save you.
Yeah, I would say that's at least half a success, surviving.
Yeah, it's what you get of it that matters.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and mount up here, and we'll take you on the path where we missed and what we could have been, could have done better overall.
Sorry,
all right.
I was just curious if Alfred was, like if anybody spotted Alfred. I know he's not ranger anymore, but.
No, your best bet would be to maybe telegram medics.
I thought I did okay though overall. Like, I don't know where to find the gold, so I couldn't find that.
So he's up in Big Valley.
Yeah, I thought I did all right though. I mean, I got a black bear and a skunk, and I killed 2 wolves.
Yeah.
and I caught a rock bass, and I killed several. What are they called? Beavers, and then
Yeah.
well, I didn't need any beavers, and so
Yeah, you'd like to come with Jeremiah?
Yeah, I'll come with you guys.
Alrighty.
It'll be a good learning experience either way.
Alrighty. Well, I'll just take the route I took out to go place them down. A 1-2.
heard.
So we've got a couple of locations that we're going to pass through. Basically, whenever you're gold panning, there's at least 3 locations off the top of my head. 2 of them I know for certain. One of them I'm unsure about. But this Hawkeye Creek at the top of it, we have a panning location. We also have one in the middle of the Big Valley one. Yeah, what the creek's called. Little Creek something.
Yeah.
And the river above Armadillo, I believe, also has a panning location.
Did you do a ranger trial, Jeremiah?
I did a different one. That's why I said I'm going, because I want to learn this stuff too.
Did you pass yours?
The one I did, yes.
Taking a right.
Right, heard.
I think if I would have knew how to mine for gold, that would have helped. Like, I didn't have any idea.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's the learning experience. You don't got to worry too much about the failure or not. You know, like I said, it's what you get from it. And the fact we're doing this right now means you're going to get a lot from it. So retaining the information is more important than worrying about the word failing or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's all knowledge at the end of the day, and that's the important part.
So with coyotes as well, they're commonly found, if not just out in the fields.
Yeah, right there.
The coyotes are found often around either camps, abandoned campsites. There's a couple of them that will pass through, especially the western side is just southwest of Pronghorn. You can also kind of bait coyotes out as well, in the sense of if you, like say, kill a wolf, skin it, leave it out there, coyotes and scavengers will come around.
Yeah. You get foxes, coyotes, crows,
See
and
them out,
ravens.
when they're not around campsites, then they're probably around a kill or a fresh kill. So just to our right here with the landers, see, that's one of our first locations where you can pan for gold.
Let me see what this looks like.
Pretty common spot for folk because it's so close to town.
Is it that table down there?
Yep, that's a sleuth right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never mined for gold
You
before.
grab a bucket from underneath, you take it to that water, fill it up, bring it back, dump it, and then start panning. That's alright. This is why I was kind of making sure you're asking as many questions as you put at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and pick it up to the counter here.
Heard. I think I'm gonna be the longest recruit there's ever been. I would know more about the Rangers than any recruit ever.
Right.
Heard. I believe this is where I ran into the wolves at.
Now, the rivers here, generally always home to salmon. But just as the water flows into Owen Jelly, right, large water mass, that's where you can find most of the salmon. They're obviously the spot, you can visually spot them by the little pink coats they have.
Yeah, I spotted a salmon. I just wasn't able to catch it.
Yeah. I do. it's completely separate related.
We got
I
it.
do sell fishing books and baits
We
that
got
you
wolves.
like. Wolves. Direction.
Sorry, it's east of here, west. Sorry, west. There's the top of the hill, west of us. They haven't spotted us, but they're up there.
Stay up there for now.
Yeah, I was just pointing it out just in case.
Yep.
They ain't no harm's away from anyone, so as long as they don't bother us.
Alright, so right in front of us, the face trees. So this here, obviously you saw the red dye marks.
Yep.
There are about 7 trees all here with all faces carved in them. Even did a treasure location for this place once.
Oh, that's nice.
Scrub that off. Alrighty. Next locale. Now, this next one, not sure if you're aware, it's called Siren's Cave.
Is that where the bear is? That is the Indians revere that bear. Yeah, I knew there was. I knew of that location for the bear den, but like, I didn't want to kill that bear because of the local tribes.
Yep, no, they understand, but it also comes down to your resourcefulness. If you feel like you're obligated to not kill something or defend yourself, you can always lure it away. Better yet, you can even scare it away.
Yeah, I just thought that the local tribes revered that bear, so I left that one alone.
They do, but they also they're not ignorant to.
They more so, don't want people going out of their way for it. But if you got to defend yourself, you got to defend yourself. Ain't no one gonna hold no one accountable for that.
Yeah.
Specifically if you're hunting.
Yeah, it's more for the people. Yeah, go out of their way because they want the fur. Those are the people that they don't like.
You have to get them.
Picking
Yeah.
up.
Black bear again. That's good. And blue, that's the one they like at pronghorn.
This area ahead of it, and most of the coyotes and small critters, kind of woodlands.
Yeah, this is where I heard the coyotes when I was going to get a fishing rod. I just didn't find them.
Yeah, most of the little campsites we have just on the left over the ridge. It's much harder with the horseback because you're always kind of scaring them off before you get close.
Yeah. You gotta watch for any small critters you're scaring their way, because then they'll run just from that.
There is also a cougar in this area.
The best choice would have been to hitch at the road and just kind of leap rope to rock the rock, going through. That is there. I remember I came up here one time treasure hunting and I found about 4 coyotes and 3 raccoons just around a camp, just chilling out, rolling dice.
I used to work at this camp way back in the day, and then I'd go hunting a lot out here. Before that, butcher packed up and left.
There's a fox just running off there. Just on the east side of this pronghorn ranch here, there's also a bear den.
Yeah.
And then where we're heading now, which is northwest of it, is Siren's Cave, which also has a bear den.
This used to be the mining hot spot for a long while. where I first met like Victor and a bunch of people back in the day. He was at this cave.
The trails are good to really understand really kind of how the area itself breathes with life. You can kind of understand that, okay, maybe the area to our left is it's mostly hilliness terrain and kind of short. There's not going to be much around. But to our right, you have hills and brushes. You can really see kind of life, turkeys. We pull into the trees here.
Bear.
There.
And Springfield does not like whenever they're nearby.
Where'd they run off to?
It's the
Part of the
come
road.
to the cleaver. Thank you. I need that back.
What? Oh, did you get it with an arrow?
Cleaver.
Oh,
That's why I carry them. A bow will handle everything but a bear.
Yeah.
I think I threw the cleaver right into its ribs and it bled out from it. Now, given that obviously this is the kind of the entrance to Current Cave, actually I left you a gift here too. And when I ran up to do the dive, four wolves followed me out. It also kind of pays the mind is just asking around, asking people, give locations, landmarks. Even citizens will kind of tell you about places like this, like, oh, what's the best place to mine in Big Valley?
And
Kinda
it's
gives you an
here.
eye to kind
Don't
of
go
reach out to folks.
falling in.
There are a lot of pit traps. Oh yeah, the wolves are still here. Some food for the bears.
And there's a lot of sacred paintings and stuff in there too, so you don't want to go too far in and mess with it, or you want to be respectful when you're coming this way. That's why the bear is revered, because he's the guardian of this cave.
So the dye just in the corner there.
yeah. I didn't even come to this location.
Yep, so this is known as Siren's Cave. Basically, they don't mind you mining in it as long as you don't mine where the the paint.
It is, yeah.
So yeah, this is Siren's Cave. And the next stop we'll be going up to Mount Sean. We'll try and take the trail up there. It'll lead us straight to it. As far as the fishing, I'm not really a fan of the fishing request in trials. It's more of a challenge to see the resourcefulness of the ranger specifically. In a sense of like, okay, even though I'm a ranger and I've minimized all my kind of items I have on me, being able to go and just get what I need is also part of your kind of your curriculum.
Alright.
So I passed in that respect. I got the fishing rod.
Yeah, like you still did the things like you succeeded in your attributes as a ranger, but you just again comes down to experience and knowledge, which is where we failed, which is to be expected.
How many animals did you get on your trial?
Oh, mine was a different one. I'll have to tell you about it later.
All right.
But yeah, if you ever is interested in fishing and stuff like that, I'll take you out sometime and show you some tips so you can use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hunting salmon for your first time will be extremely frustrating.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm not advising you to bring back just a shot fish. It's
Do you,
specifically, like I said, like a test. It just as testing thoroughness of like being able to get a fishing rod and then actually catch a fish.
yeah. Do
So
you
they still
have
bring
to?
back a fish.
Yeah, I didn't bring back the rock bass because you were asking for salmon, so I just threw that back.
Yeah.
But do you have to pass a ranger trial to become a ranger?
No.
Oh,
the trial is
it's-
not mandatory.
It still would have been better if I passed, though.
It's more for the person who developed the ranger. It tells them themselves whether they're ready or not, in my opinion.
Oh,
If
I
they feel
think
confident enough to go through an area and survive off the land.
I definitely did that.
Yeah, which is what you did.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just as
feeling
far as
confident.
the standard of the trial goes, is that you just failed. That's nothing to sweat about.
No, I feel really good that I didn't get downed by any animals,
Yeah.
especially running into a pack of wolves. I feel good about that.
What I was worried about. Alright, so we're coming across up to the bear den here, just now, kind of east-southeast, where it's commonly seen, generally by the rock.
Yeah, one of my jobs here was to walk along the fences and make sure them animals didn't get anyone's away. They got a black bear over here too. It's their blue. It's their mascot for the range.
Yeah, what I figured was a black bear was better than no bear. That's why I took the black bear.
Yeah, especially keep in mind if they're close to main roads and stuff, they think they will cause a problem for someone, especially with the other big predators around, and it's the better option to call them anyways.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want your horse getting scared by that black bear and then it can't move when the grizzly's coming at you.
Yeah,
Seen
exactly.
it happen more times than you'd expect.
Look at that.
Where is it?
Never seen that one. There's just the rib cage next to his spine. My left.
Oh.
Yeah, small little details. Neat. I like that. Yeah, I was worrying about that you're gonna fall off the mountain somehow.
Yeah. I didn't make it up here.
Well, now you know, just in case someone bring it up.
Yep.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, this is my first time on this mountain too, so you don't gotta worry if you feel like you don't know things.
No, I feel good. I survived and killed 2 wolves
Yeah,
and
you
a
did
bear,
good
and
by the
I
sound
think
of
I
it.
did all right.
Careful of your horse kicking you when you come back. He's a little spooked still.
Yeah, Sterling's been, man, the Wade gave me that horse, and that horse is stubborn.
Yeah. Just throwing a fit on you.
This
Blue.
will be the third stop. There's the sundial.
Man, this is really cool.
Yeah, I've never been up here before.
Yep.
This got an amazing view.
Absolutely.
I don't want to start getting cranky. I ain't had a cigarette in over an hour or two.
Yeah, so most of the trial itself can be completed in really just the west of the mountain. You got the mountain itself, Siren's Cave, which is southwest of where we are now, and then sorry, northwest, and then southwest is the trees. So you just really have this kind of big triangle, and you can actually complete everything within that triangle.
I think I prioritized wrong. I prioritized the animals.
Yeah, yeah. Which that's what it comes back down to with like again with the training. It's exposing your thought to yourself because it's a lot of it's self introspection of like how do I handle things, what do I need to do better, and much like you saw here, and you're even explaining it yourself, like the prioritization is it can be wrong if you're not prepared to follow through or you're successful in that case. So as long as you kind of like you see your task ahead of you, and you can bring this back to like a search and rescue, where
Yeah.
it's like, okay, my priority is the safety of the folks around me, and we need to get to this location. If your priority is that person specifically first, whether you find them or you don't, and you're not caring about the people behind you, other injuries or incidents could occur, and then you're working with 3 people being hurt rather than just the one.
Yeah, too many people rush to save time, not realizing they're gambling that time.
Yeah.
It's moderation.
Yeah, yeah.
But we'll go ahead and go down the mountain. And see how short it was for me to just kind of travel from point to point.
Yeah.
Actually,
Let's give him some pats and calm him down a bit. He's a little jumpy.
do you mind if I just have a quick chat with you real quick?
Me? Yeah. Go back.
All right. Look at that view, though. The hell's a bear doing up here? So I learned a lot tonight. The locations, like I've never been up here on this mountain. I've been to the Siren Cave once, but I didn't remember exactly where that was. Plus, I didn't want to kill that bear because of the local tribes. But overall, I think I did all right. Even though he said I failed, like I survived. I killed some of the animals that were on the list. I didn't know how to pan for gold. So yeah, that was on me. Gotta learn that stuff.
Second off, I gotta get somewhere, but I'll be meeting you guys back in Strawberry.
Hey, so I'll just get my stuff from you later then, I reckon?
Yeah, I won't be too long. I'll just spend about 10 minutes.
All right. Yeah, look at that view, though.
Yeah, that's a good.
All right. So I really want to know about how your trial went because he was basically like, I failed. Like, what was your trial?
So I I had one where I was going out doing the patrolling, similar stuff. You know, mine. I didn't do some of the more traditional ones
So
that
you
they
didn't do
had.
an actual trial.
I did one, yeah, where I had to do like a patrol on my own out in the west, and I had to do so many things based on what they told me.
What
There
did
was
you
another
have to do?
trial. There, the hard part is there's another trial I had to do that I can't tell you about until you do it. So
So
that's the hard one to talk
did
about.
you do one where you got to find the dyes and stuff like that?
No, I think that's something that Rockwell and a couple other rangers do. There weren't people around at the time for me, so I had more practical experience. I was always around when shit was going down, so I had to keep going out and take care of actual things. So I think they just were like, oh yeah, we don't. He's confident enough with some of these things that the trial would bring up anyways, so we don't need to bring it up, and we just didn't have the resources at the time. It's really lucky to have these chances, but you gotta keep in mind, especially with Rockwell himself, you know, he's very straightforward. He he gives people their chances to just kind of understand things on their own, but he'll come across as very blunt at times, and that may
Yeah, he didn't
give
give
you
me
the
any
wrong
positives.
message.
I thought I did well. I
Yeah,
mean, I survived. I killed 2 wolves, a black bear, a skunk, and that the skunk was on the list. I didn't find any jackals and stuff, but I thought he'd be like, "Hey, you did a pretty good job." He's like, "No,
yeah,
you
you definitely
failed."
did. Yeah, it's just yeah. He likes it. He's just a facts man, right? So it's like even if you failed, you succeeded in all the things that you set out to do. So you did do
Yeah,
a really good job. That will reflect on your feedback. You don't have to worry
I
about
hope
that.
so. Yeah, I hope it does. But I got to be honest with you, partner. I feel like they're making it not harder, but I don't think they believe in me really. Like the Rangers don't seem to really like. You got in after 3 weeks. I've been doing this thing for 2 months now, and I
Yeah,
don't know. I
no,
don't know
it's.
if they really believe in me, even though I survived the trials and I found people on the searches, and they just
I
don't
think you'd
seem to
be
believe.
I think you'd be surprised they do. It's just more of a matter of them getting their shit together. I don't think it's as much on you as you think they're making it out to be. It's hard to explain some of the stuff because it's kind of like we can't cross that bridge till we get to it. Is the best way I can put it. But just see how the rest of the night goes. Like I said, that's why he's doing this for you, right? Like that's what I want to be aware is he wants these good marks to be on there to show that the time you do have when you're here, you are doing a lot of good things. And I'm I would say that you're pretty close. They just
I
are
feel
probably waiting
close.
for they're just waiting for the right people to be around because they can't do it themselves without a higher up
Okay.
like
What?
pushing the paperwork through and stuff.
Well, I feel like I'm ready. If I'm being honest, man. Like I've been
I think you
a
are.
ranger recruit for 2 months. I feel basically like a ranger. As many
I
searches
mean, I
as
already
I've done.
felt you were ready when you went out on that patrol with us, and I told
Oh
them as
wow.
much in my feedback.
Well,
So,
I really appreciate that you said that.
yeah, of
Uh,
course.
but yeah, I just wanted to pick your brain because I know you moved through the process pretty fast. So you're more experienced. I think you've been in the crossing longer than me, so I think you have that
Yeah,
experience.
and I set out. That was my challenge to myself when I first got on the crossing, and I heard of the Rangers. Was like, I want to see if I can go do this on my own without anyone telling me anything, and I'm gonna go see what conclusions I come to before I'm told what all the actual stuff is.
Well, I gotta
So,
say, partner, I appreciate that I have at least your vote when the time comes.
yeah, absolutely, and it's that's why I was also just telling you, like I said, take everything Peter says, take with a grain of salt. It's just his personality that makes him talk that way. But the fact that he's putting in this effort, that's the part you should take in is that he believes in you. And even if it's hard for him to like express that, I can tell from being around him so much, and I go way back with him. I can tell that he believes in you. He has that faith. So,
Well, that's good to hear. I guess
but
we
we
can
gotta
go ahead.
Yeah, we gotta go check out some spots real quick. I just came up with Peter real quick because I wanted to learn this stuff too. But there was something they wanted me to check out. We got a possible search, like missing person. I was hoping we might have run into him while we were out there, but I didn't see any signs. So you're gonna come do a slight search and rescue with me, and we're gonna see if there's anyone else out there. 'Cause sometimes we don't get a telegram telling us that they've been found, so we're gonna go double check the area. It was real close to where we were the first time. Let me check my map real quick.
All right.
Because yeah, it's somewhere over here in Big Valley. It's like south of Pronghorn, but north of Owangila. So kind of that first general area we was in.
Yeah, where's Pronghorn? Oh, Pronghorn Ranch. Yeah,
Pronghorn,
that's
yeah,
not on
this
the
is like
map,
the
but
ranch.
but
Yeah,
all right. So I think I
the
got the
ranch that we
general
just passed
idea.
by on our way back. Yeah, if we go down towards like Owangila, we can start above it, and then we'll kind of go from there. So we'll get you some more experience here with this search. You can take us back down the mountain and just get us over in that area, and we'll go from there. All right.
All right, sounds good. We'll just run in a staggered. Just be careful on these ledges. Heading up.
Yeah.
Going to pick it up slightly, but we're not going to go too fast.
Yeah, I'll follow you. Don't worry too much. As long as you tell me if you're stopping, that's the important part up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, there ain't no rush. They just want us to check out the area because they haven't heard anything, so we don't know. Like no one's called for help or anything. But they wanted someone to do a search out there just in case.
Yeah, I totally understand.
That's why I ain't been rushing. I came up here with you guys because I wanted this knowledge also. I haven't ever done one of these.
Yeah,
So
I've never been up here.
Yeah, like personally, I felt upset that I wasn't able to do some of those trials I heard about, but it's always comes down to timing and stuff, you know, and that's just what you're experiencing is the timing ain't good, so it makes you feel not good. And I've been getting on Rangers' ass about that. It's like, hey, you know, when they are around, you guys got to be like more validating for the things they is doing. It is a learning experience.
Yeah.
Some of them, you know, it's life or death at times, so they want to really make sure you understand the mistakes, but that doesn't mean they can't take time out of day to also tell you, like, you know, all these things you're doing are actually good, and you are on your way if you're not there already. So, like, have the confidence in the stuff you've already succeeded in, and you defended yourself, and you were very vocal about the stuff you did do good in, and that's good. So just let that lead into that confidence.
Yeah, I don't think I did a bad job. It's just the way he said it. I just didn't feel like I impressed him that much. He was just like, "You definitely failed," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
You will see the more you're around him. He talks like that no matter who it is. I ain't ever seen him talk to anyone any other way ever. So you know, it's like a goal that people won't attain. So I'm just helping you set those expectations a little better. So.
Well, you know, to go out there and survive, I think that should be half of the test. Just surviving.
Big Valley, like I said, if I hadn't started on my own hunt in Big Valley, it'd be the scariest place for me. But I can see how with most people, just surviving, that is absolutely a good mark on any grade you're gonna get. So
yeah, I survived that wolf attack. That I mean, a less seasoned person, they would have went down to 3 wolves.
Oh yeah, definitely. So this is Pronghorn under us right here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go south of Pronghorn, and it's I want to say it's probably closer to Owangila, but we'll keep our eyes out as we're going.
I've got a marker on the map for right in between here and Owangila, right in between what I think is Pronghorn. So it hopefully is the area we're looking for.
Yeah, just remember, keep your eyes open. I want to see some of that search and rescue experience you got. I'm just here to help. If I see you do anything that I think is too dangerous, I will speak up, but I'm going to try my hardest to let you lead what we're doing.
Sounds good to me. We'll just get to the road here, and then we'll be heading left.
All right, left turn.
Well, hold on, partner. Let's slow up. We're actually be going right here because the trail I think it turns. It hooks the left up here. All right, so you said that there could be a possible missing person in between here and Owangila? Oh, I'm sorry. I turned around and looked. You said there's a possible missing person between here and Owangila?
Yeah, between here and Owangila, we got a possible missing person. We're going to be looking for horses, any horses we see. We're going to keep our eyes out for the predators like the cougar you mentioned, wolves or anything like that.
If we run into a cougar, let's try to get distance if we can and get on a rock.
Yeah,
and same with
if
wolves.
If it comes for me, I can punch him off once and then I'll give you a chance to get him while I get to safety if something like that happens.
Well, or
just
vice
don't
versa.
Freak out. Yeah, or vice versa. Just know if he comes at you and he gets you and you punch him off, create that distance to give me a shot.
All right. So could they be anywhere between here and Owangila, you think?
Yeah, anywhere in this area, we'll keep an eye out. On our way up, we didn't see anything on this main road, so I don't think we're going to. We could choose a side to go to, maybe more like southwest a bit. Because I have a feeling it's going to be somewhere over there near that cougar pit, most likely. And the actual den is, yeah, more to the west of us from
So
here.
are you wanting to cut off into the woods?
Well, however you want to handle it. We can start from ONG and then cut off. We can do it now, but
Let's slow
whatever
down.
helps
Let's
you
slow
do
down
it.
to a stop here.
All right. Oh, I hear something. There's a bear, a black bear. All right, we're good.
All right, let's cut left here and go through these woods.
Watch that black bear. He's in the bush where the way you're heading.
Oh, I see it. You want to take it out, or what do you want to do here?
Yeah, I got him.
I mean, we can both take them out, or you can. It's up to
Yeah,
you.
well, get your weapon out. Oh, here you go. Keep going. Keep going. Just when they're aggressive like that, and like I said, with the cougar around, we don't want him to be the reason why the cougar gets it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the fact that he's over here too means there's probably not a person over here, just because they'll run from those people. They won't keep on the body.
Yeah, I put my marker up this way just as a general idea of where I thought they might be. I hear a bear, another bear.
And crossing range of cars. Anybody out here? Please shout out if you can.
Saints Crossing Ranger Corps. Is anybody in the area?
We don't want to go too far out though from in between the two, because that was the main tip of this.
So basically, they should be right in this area. This is right in
We got
between
fall
Pronghorn and
options here. Let me look at the map.
yeah. I mean, if so, was it? Did they send in the tip, or is this just they think somebody might be out here?
Little bit of both. We did get a tip in, but they weren't sure, because sometimes when a tip comes in, it was like they cried out for help, but they were with friends, and their friends found them like just about right away, and then they forget to send us in a tip saying they were taken care of. So as a courtesy, we out here for a little while, just doing a general sweep.
All right, you want to head down this way?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's check all these rocky areas and such.
Saints Crossing Ranger Corps. Is anybody in the area? I'll tell you another thing, partner. We're going to have to get back to town sooner rather than later. I ain't ate since before the trial.
Yeah, we'll get that taken care of. I got some game meat. What's that over there?
What? You talk about the camp?
Right. See to the right?
Yeah, that looks like a horse.
Yeah, let's go check that out then.
All right.
That's always one of the first things you want to look for: search and rescue. Is there a horse without a rider? Check it out.
Did it have a saddle on it? Let's go check it out. Saints Crossing Ranger Corps. Is anybody in the area? Looks like it might have a saddle on it. Saints Crossing Ranger Corps. Is anybody in the area? Yep. This horse definitely has a saddle on it. That was a good eye, partner.
What should I do?
Well, the first thing you should do is look in this direction right here, because a lot of times the horse will walk off from where they were, so they could be in this direction.
All right.
And we want
to keep the area clear for you.
let's stick together just in case and see if there's any predators in the area, and let's maybe put like 20 feet between us, just so we're still in earshot. Saints Crossing Ranger Corps. Is anybody in the area? If you're injured, call out. Just stay in earshot distance.
Alright.
Saints Crossing Ranger Corps. Is anybody in the area? Oh, we got somebody here. You scared me, man. What's going on? What's going on, Rockwell? Yo, I found Rockwell, and he's just standing here next in this. This is kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie. All right, so we got us an injured person here. All right, so first thing we need.
Training.
I don't. Do you?
Yeah.
First thing we have to do is check for a pulse.
All right. How about me? What should I do while you're
That's
doing
first.
that?
Well, since I don't have stabilization training, that's what you're gonna have to do here. I'm not allowed to work on him. But if you want to check for a pulse and check for breathing, that's the first thing we need to do here.
All right. Well, if you're in charge, if someone's doing that, what should the other person be doing?
I guess what I can do is search the area and make sure there's no predators around while you're doing that, unless you need backup.
Yeah. Keeping the area clear. That's right. You're right.
All right, I'm gonna go do a perimeter search and I'll be back.
Just stay within ear distance.
All right, we'll do. All right, I did a 360-degree check of the perimeter. There are no predators in the area. You can see, so what happened was exactly what we were talking about. He must have got down here and the horse went about 40 or 50 feet in that direction, so that was good.
No, you pointed that out. That was good.
And then
you knew exactly
you did a
which
good job.
direction to go.
You did a good job seeing the horse first. You saw the horse first, and then we went from there.
You had me looking from there, so I called it for you where it was at, and then you.
And then from there, I was able. So, were you able to diagnose if he is breathing or not?
He's all right. He's stable. You know, he's
Did you check for any wounds? Were there any wounds?
no discernible wounds that I saw. It just looks like a common horse fall there. The area being clear is the most important part. You didn't see any predators stalking or nothing.
No predators in the area. So, in this case, is he passed out?
Well, why don't you see if he'll respond to you if you talk to him?
All right. So, partner, are you there? Can you hear me, partner?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm good.
All right. What happened to you, buddy?
Just having a little bush nap.
Okay. Can you tell me what happened to you?
Spun around, got real dizzy and fell over.
Okay. Well, these things happen. Do you need
the
any
first
water or food? My buddy's got some food
no.
and some water. I'm
I
guessing
am
he's got water.
sated.
All right. Do you feel like you need anybody to escort you to town?
I would love an escort to town.
All right. Well,
I don't know
Your-
where I am. I'm
your
lost.
horse is right over here in this direction. If you want to follow us, we can lead you to your horse and head on out.
Fantastic.
All right. Recruit,
Hey,
you can lead us
success!
to
That was a
town.
success. You had me, man. I was starting to wonder. I was like, "Are they doing a mock?" But you had it good where I didn't really realize.
Yeah, that's why, because you kept asking about some of my trials, and that was the one that I could talk about. I was like, I gotta wait a while before I talk about this. I don't
Yeah.
want to prime you.
All right, so partner, we run in formations. So I guess what we'll do here is a staggered formation, and that is where it's like a single file line. We're going to be heading to Strawberry, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, of course. Where would you like me? What would be the safest
Well,
position for
I
an
think the
escort?
safest position for you would be in the middle of us, so that we have your front
Sounds
and
good.
your behind.
All right, I'll take rear then.
All right, sounds good. All right, we'll be heading out this way, looking for the nearest trail, and we'll be following that to Strawberry. Picking up.
Wolf.
We got wolves. Hold up. everybody all right?
All good.
All right. You know, that kicking it and then shooting it, that is a really effective maneuver.
Absolutely.
All right.
Unfortunately, you can't kick them with the bow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you guys got to be really good at your shots then in that
Yeah.
case.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
he
a
only need
few
that one
shots off
shot though,
first,
you know?
and then you just gotta stow it and then just keep kicking.
Yeah. Hey, look, you didn't bug me off this time, Springfield. Good job.
I think mine did buck me off.
Yeah, so it's always best, given the area, just dismount straight
Yeah,
away.
definitely.
Yeah, if they're too scared, just let go of the reins. They'll run to safety, and then you'll be able to get off just fine.
Yeah, Sterling's making his way. I'm going to go get him.
Stuck on a log.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to look for the closest road and follow it to Strawberry. That was real. You did real good. Be a civilian, sir. All right, we found the road. We're gonna be following this here.
People don't have bows on their back lightly.
Yeah, no, that's a really skillful weapon to have to use. We're gonna be picking it up to a canter.
And my friend got picked up by a local, and local took all the things, so she got my bow right
Is
now.
this
Going
a
right
safe way
here.
to be traveling?
Is this? Are you saying? Hold on. Let's stop here. Do you say safest way?
Is this a safe way to be traveling? Should we maybe check our maps?
Yeah, we have to turn. I got an idea. All right, let's head back this other way to the main road. That was a good call. We were just going through Big Valley. I was gonna have us cut right here, but that'd be that wouldn't be a main road. So yeah, let's go this way. We'll get to the main road and we'll go from there.
Sound good?
We're picking up.
Picking it to a canner?
Yeah, to a canter. And I'm not quite sure what that word means if I'm being honest. I believe this is a canter.
So, yep. So right now we're at a canner. So our 3 speed is a
All right,
canner and a gallop.
let's stop right here. I'm listening though. All right, we're gonna be going left right here. Now I know we did get those wolves, but let's make sure that we're really vigilant here because there could be more wolves in the area. But we'll be following this trail right here.
Eyes open.
All right, yeah, eyes open. I'm gonna keep my gun out just in case. But let's pick it up.
Picking it up.
So back to what you were saying.
Yeah.
Your 3 speeds from slowest to fastest is trot, canter, and gallop.
Okay, slowest is trot, and then canter, and then gallop. Got it. This is where there could be some more wolf activity. There's also black bears in this area, and I don't believe the cougar makes its way this far over here.
I don't think it's been spotted this far, but even then, fading can occur. So there's nearly but a possibility of any animal being anywhere. But we still pull out the common fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know when one's been dragged by a local lately. We've had people purposely leaving bait out in areas, so
You can find panthers in Cumberland and tall trees, which they never spotted.
We'll be going right here.
right, heard.
I heard.
Now, sir, I'm not sure if we're still doing this, but if you need any assistance when we get back, there's a hospital directly across from the ranger station. I just want to
recommending me to get a medical checkup.
I
as soon as
would, yes,
possible?
I would advise that you do that, sir. I don't know. It sounds like it could just be a heat-related illness or water dehydration, but there's a chance you could have gotten a concussion somehow. This is rare, but riding on horses, if they gallop too hard, it can mess with your brain function. We're going to be going left here, and so I would advise that you do stop by the doctor's office and have them check you out.
Sounds good.
It seems to me, Riderhead, it seems to me that is dehydration. That's what I believe is going on here. All right, we're going to be slowing down to a trot. And the doctors, I'll show you right. Let's let these people pass. Or actually, yeah, let's go ahead. They're just going to stop and wait for us. But the doctors is right over here to the left. And we have many rangers that are pretty well, they know a lot, is what I'm trying to say when it comes to medical stuff. So if you need a ranger's assistance, we can help with that as well. But right here is the doctor's office. And so, yeah, I would advise that you do get checked out. If you need anything else, here's the ranger station, and we'll be right over there.
No, I'm good. Go ahead
All
and
right.
dismount. We'll do a debrief.
All right. Now I'm feeling good, partner. That was a good boost of confidence to be able to find him. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't have been able to find him without your help, though.
No worries, no worries. That's why we're together, right? That's why we got numbers.
Exactly. All right. Yeah, I really appreciate you giving me that test. I was kind of feeling a little down because I didn't find enough during the trial, but I thought that was real good putting me through that to see how I would react.
Yep, we as rangers, we're looking to take every opportunity we have to effectively test and get our recruits through certain scenarios or circumstances where we're properly seeing their skill set. Regardless, again, back to the trial, regardless of the fail to succeed, it's not a mandatory necessity. It is recommended even when you do get the green to try and complete one. But it's more of a kind of your personal achievement to see how far you've come.
Absolutely.
But the core nature of the rangering is search and rescues, which is what you succeeded in today. I haven't spoke with Jeremiah about the pre-work of that yet, but the due diligence of being able to use the people around you, especially as a lead ranger, you're taking responsibility of the rangers around you, regardless of rank. They by all means will give you suggestions, but you effectively have the final say. And that'll be for anything from obviously securing the area, which would be your first response when finding somebody. I know it is tricky to see someone and immediately rush to them as you feel like urgency, but again, your safety is concerned. There's a reason why they're injured, and that reason could still be around.
Yep.
There's been times where I've come across a ranger and a person that's injured because they've rushed to someone and the cougar's still around.
Yeah, I'm assault having the buzz when I was a recruit.
I guess what. So like that's obviously the first thing you do. I didn't hear any predators, but you still look for them. So yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah. Sometimes you ain't gonna hear that cougar.
There's been times where I've come to people and they're freaking out like the cougar's still there, the cougar's still there. It's like, no, I took it out before I came. It's all right.
But I did good in that I found you though. That was good.
Yep.
But it was actually Jeremiah that spotted the horse, and he asked me what we should do, and I said,
Well, to be fair, I spotted it in the direction you was telling me to look. So.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And he asked me what we should do.
It's all based on delegation and teamwork.
Yeah.
We're relying on our rangers that we have with us at the time to be able to reliably do what they're instructed to do. And
he
if
did
we have
that.
faith in that, and that's why it's why we train each other up so much and cover each other's weaknesses. Like if I have a habit or something bad I do, is like a ranger would pull me up and say, hey, this is a concern. We want to make sure we resolve that, because if it's out in the field and something happens, there could be a problem.
Like a good example being his era. I know if he doesn't get the shot he wants, he got time to reload. So I want to get that wolf that's directly near him off of him, so he has time to get that reload.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I thought we handled those wolves really well.
Yeah, it's yeah, it just comes back down to making us better overall when we're performing our duties. Is it's not something that we're trying to like discipline in a way of bringing someone down and looking for a reason to call them up on something. We're literally there trying to try and find your weaknesses so we can help you.
Yeah,
Bring
I
everybody
appreciate that.
All right, so I'll fill that out later. More or less summarized. And we'll head back to Blackwater and we'll get your things for you.
That sounds,
But
sounds good.
just quickly, Jeremiah, do you mind if we just have a quick chat about the
Whoa, whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and while y'all are doing that, is it all right if I go get a stew? I haven't eaten since before the trial.
Yeah, go get yourself.
Do y'all need any stew or anything?
I'll
I
take
can
one.
use
Yeah.
one.
All right, I'll be back.
3 stews, please.
3 stews, you got it. Okay, so I'm super happy about how that went. Finding him, that was awesome. I think today was a major milestone for Tony. We're getting through that Ranger trial, surviving, and then finding Rockwell. I think that was a major positive for today. Hey fellas, before I give y'all
Yeah.
stew, you care if I stop by the doctor real fast? One of them wolves scratched me up. I need to get bandaged
All right,
bandaged
take
up.
care of yourself. Your safety
All right,
comes first. All right.
I'll be right back. I just got to say, the game has been running so smooth the last several times that I've been on. So they're doing a really good job keeping the game running smoothly. There was that one hiccup, but all I had to do was relog, and that fixed everything. So shout out to the devs on that. Hope everybody's enjoying the stream. That's stopping by and watching. All right, y'all ready to eat?
Absolutely.
All right.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Rockwell, got you some stew here. You want me to wait till... Oh, okay. Hold on. There's this tarot card that's just got my eye right now.
I ate your other stews.
You ate my stews? How dare you? All right, it's all right. I forgive you. Oh yeah, that was good. Well, Rockwell, I really appreciate everything that you did for me tonight. Feel like I learned quite a lot tonight.
Yeah, we don't have even taken you out on a bloody search and rescue patrol, which is what I normally would. is something where
I'm gonna double check the tip line real quick.
certain things that need to happen, those take priority, especially with training. As much as I kind of discourage just having ride-alongs, I think there's a training lesson or opportunity in every circumstance, and it's a value for rangers to have when they are taking out recruits, that they're aware of those moments. Because if not, you're frankly wasting your own time and their time.
I agree, and I feel like I learned so well tonight on that trial that if and when hopefully I do get my greens, I'll be able to, if needed, I can have someone do a Big Valley trial, sorry, and I would know, and I would do it just like you did. I would put it in all the same locations, and I would be able to effectively do a Big Valley trial for someone.
Right.
So that was a really big learning experience.
Yeah, I'm glad I showed up when I did because I learned a lot just from that too.
Yeah, that sundial, I really like that spot. It's got a hell of a view. And I made sure to make it a point to memorize where those locations are on the map, so that so that if I ever do have to give somebody a trial, I would be able to give them at least at this point a Big Valley trial.
Yeah, just remember, especially if you do find someone and they're generally all right, you've done what you could, and you're just trying to get them back to town. Take your time, figure out where you want to go, figure out what you want to do. Don't feel rushed in them aspects. You know, that's a big part of the learning. Like we was talking about earlier, is like sometimes rushing is going to lead to more time in the long run, or we're putting someone in a place that we really shouldn't. So
Yeah.
take your time, figure out a plan, have confidence when you're the leader, and make sure you're telling us what to do, because sometimes people is looking at you real heavily for that kind of stuff, and they need to be reminded, because just as overwhelmed as you feel, there's a good chance other people are feeling that too.
Yeah, I think as far as the search, I think it was the right call to have you stick close by,
Yeah.
because we didn't know if there were predators in the area or not.
No, yeah, it was dark. You know, we already had a good idea of the general area because of the horse, and it was good. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm the one with the insider information, which is why I was letting you give a call, and I'm still staying pretty close. So you made the right call. I would have probably still done something similar. I was trying to do my best not to give anything away.
Yeah, we found him relatively fast once we found the horse.
No, you had good instinct. You were going in a good area. You took the information I gave you, no matter how limiting it was. I know it was frustrating times. I couldn't tell you more, but you were doing good with the information you had.
Yeah, I feel like after all this time, I'm really starting to feel comfortable in this role. So like tonight really helped solidify that.
That's good. I'm gonna put my bolt back on my horse. I'll be back.
All right. Is there any feedback you'd like to give me?
Let me just collect my thoughts here.
All right. I'm jonesing for a cigarette, something awful.
You need one? I got some.
Yeah, if you could just give me just one. I only need one because when we get to Blackwater, I can get my pack.
I feel you there.
Thank you. I believe that after we get back from Blackwater, I'll be heading off to bed.
Yeah, no, it's completely fair. Yeah, you definitely had a long day.
Sorry about Sterling. I don't know why he's way over there. You want me to hit
That's
him
right.
before
So,
I get my feedback?
No, you're right. As far
Alright.
as feedback goes, yeah, a lot of it, again, it's going to just come down with the basic experience, time. Taking that moment to really just think about what needs to be done in not try to rush into anything, which is what you shown at the search and rescue. Really using every kind of resource available to you. That's be it land, as you saw with your trial, you realize what's out there, and it's the reason why we make you so you have so little that if you were to be in just a 1 in 1 million chance of you actually being out there and abandoned, you're gonna be able to survive and get back to safety, unless we're able to find you before then. But rangers, we should be always prepared, and I saw that with your basically your baggage that you left off before and prior to that. So I know you do have that preparation. You're ready for nearly every outcome. Obviously, things like getting warm clothes for the colder weather, as those things will be a place that we do go searching.
Absolutely.
But I find in time, as long as you, and I can't stress this enough, even if and when you get your green, the learning doesn't stop, and you should never prevent yourself from always asking questions. No matter how much of a big head you get, where it's like I am now the best ranger out there in search and rescue. I know more than anybody. Never stop wanting to ask questions about other people and how they do things.
Yeah.
Even if you think you're top shit or something, having someone's different perspective, even with recruits, is invaluable to have that unfiltered knowledge or kind of reaction of what they could provide, because that one day might give you an enlightenment of what maybe this what they're suggesting could actually improve the entirety of the range corps as a whole. So just from one probe question.
Absolutely.
So what I'm trying to get is no one's too big. At the end of the day, regardless of rank, we're all rangers. We're all here because we want to be.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all that. I would just say that as far as I don't really let myself get a big head. I just try to learn as much as I can so that I can feel more comfortable. I believe when you think you know everything, that's when you learn that you don't.
Yeah, exactly. It's a kind of a sign of intelligence of that. But if you want some homework, for example, whether you're on duty or not, just start learning the crossing as much as you can. That's going to go a long way, especially for your navigation. So if you're not aware of the ranger towers, that should be your first priority.
Yeah,
and kind of getting from A to B, from towers, towns, and then
I know most of them.
Like, if you're going fishing, for example, if you end up going okay, well, I'm heading from I'm going to go from Valentine to Omagilla because I want to go fish and try and catch a salmon. Because fuck this salmon.
Yeah.
When you go one day, go a different way.
Yeah.
Force yourself to take a different path. At the end of the day, as long as you know that a location is east of you. So if we're traveling, say if we're in Blackwater and we're traveling, and we need to get to Valentine, which is north. We know as long as we head north, we're eventually going to find it. Given the couple of landmarks being on the right side of the Dakota. So even though if we head all the way west, all the way left, we know eventually, we're definitely, the mountains, that's too far. So we're going to head east. See the river? Okay, the Dakota River can take me up. I see mountains again, I'm going way too north. So to come back down south.
Yeah.
Eventually everything will kind of just, accumulate, and you'll realize where you are, and it will come in time. But just have some faith in your kind of those cardinal directions.
Well, okay, so as far as so basically when it comes to judging north, south, east, and west, I guess I could use the sun for that. Is that what you do?
Yeah. I use my compass that I got personally.
Where did you buy that at? Oh, never mind. I see it. I think I own a compass, actually, partner. It's put away, but yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, utilizing the compass, definitely. That's something I don't do as much. I focus on the roads and landmarks.
Yeah, it's the easiest way for everyone to be on the same page. You heard Rockwell ask me for the direction earlier. That's a good way to have things.
Yeah, I definitely usually use landmarks, but I'll start using my compass more.
Yeah, well, it's a combination, because because you're using landmarks as a reminding of where you are in that specific area. But once you kind of like pinpoint, like again, these landmarks. Okay, so you got, say the face trees. That's like west of Orangilla. So if we get to Orangilla, we know if we head west of that, we're gonna hit the face trees. If we head east of Orangilla, we're gonna get strawberry. So you can start making little daisy chain directions from each landmark. So it's good, obviously, to learn the landmarks. And then once we have the towns, then we just keep building and building onto that. And eventually we'll just,
know the whole map.
You can't get lost.
Well, you know what? It's funny you said the face trees, because I thought when I read that, because I've never seen the face trees, I thought you meant face the trees. So here I am staring at the trees, looking like, okay, I'm facing the trees. It was only a happenstance that I stumbled upon the face trees, but it was in the area that you said.
Yeah. Well, that comes back down to questions. Yeah. If you're ever uncertain, or if you hesitate for a moment, that means you have to ask the question.
Absolutely. But yeah, I was facing the trees. I was like, all right, face trees. So I'm looking at the trees. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah. Let's go get your supplies.
All right.
I'll hold down the lodge.
Yeah.
All right.
I probably won't be back around.
No worries.
It's good work out there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I will be stopping back by. And if you're still around, I'll say bye. If you're on a search, I'll probably head off to bed.
Yeah, head on back. If I'm here, I'll give you some words when you get back.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
It might not have been expressed earlier too, but whenever we're going to a search and rescue, we always want to get to that area as fast as we can and as safe as we can.
Yeah. I think that we would have went faster. It's just we were getting our bearings on exactly where the area was.
Yeah. Well, I'm not pressing about the specific mock search and rescue.
Oh, okay. Let me explain to you what
because
happened, partner. If you're wondering why it took so long, we had a conversation before we ever set out. So we stayed on top of that mountain.
That was intentional.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I
go and find a place to be safe.
Well, the thing is, the conversation was started by me, so that worked out really well for y'all because I was actually picking his brain about what he had to do as far as if he had to do a trial and whatnot. It turns out it wasn't really a trial that he had to do. It was more general search and rescue type things. But we had a conversation for a solid 5 to 10 minutes, so that worked out really well.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like
the basic formation or basic kind of routine we have as a ranger outside of doing patrols, which is kind of almost like what we're doing right now. If we'll have a resident that come by the lodge, who'll be like, hey, I saw this guy. Howdy, sir. We'll see a guy that kind of came through. Well, I saw a guy injured out in Northern Great Plains. And we're like, okay, Northern Great Plains, the Great Plains in general. We respond to the tip, and then we would.
I wasn't sure if we were going to cut through there because last time we cut through.
Yeah.
As you were saying though.
Straight to Blackwater on this route. So if it's in the Northern Great Plains and we're responding from Strawberry here, we'll put ourselves as responding on the tip line, mount up, and then get out of town.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. I've been through several searches. It's always a fast-paced ordeal.
Yeah, but once we get to that search area, that's when you got to slow back down. That's when we're like at this space and we're looking around, making sure we're not running past, keeping it searching all the area. Especially if you're by yourself, you got to do the whole 180 search in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I just feel really, I don't want to say proud, but I feel happy that I found you so fast. As soon as we found the horse, I knew exactly where to look. Because that generally was what will happen is if they fall off their horse will go, 30 or 40 feet or more, and a lot of times they'll be directly behind their horse.
There was a little trick to it though. Some horses, and my horse particularly, was hitched. find an unhitched horse, it's likely that they'll run away. If it is hitched, it could be within the 360 area.
Yeah.
But a horse is a good tell. It shouldn't be the only tell. You shouldn't be relying on it. But it is a good recommendation. I even give this citizens when they go out hunting or go to somewhere dangerous. I tell them to have their horse their horse follow them if they're ever going hunting.
Yeah, I agree. That's good advice.
Because if you ever get hurt or anything like that, your horse will run away, but it will try to get back to you.
Well, I plan on getting another horse eventually. I don't dislike Sterling, but this horse can be quite stubborn.
Is it a fox runner?
Yes, it is a Missouri Foxtrotter. I plan on getting a Norfolk Roadster.
Okay.
They have really good handling and good speed.
That's why I like my Breton here.
What is that you got?
$190 Bren. I wouldn't pick any other horse over it.
Oh, so the thing about this horse I'm planning on getting, it's like $1,000 horse. So I'm gonna have to save up for that.
I'll let you know the price doesn't really matter.
No, I agree. I just really like the handling on this horse. It's about one of the best handling horses you can find.
Yeah, I get it. It's up there with this Breton, the Arabian, and the Hungarian.
So that's a Breton you have there?
Yep, a Sorrel Breton. I think you can get Bretons for like 950, but it's not needed unless you like the hides.
Yeah. So you said you'll be going off to bed after this?
No, I won't. I'll just be doing the chores I was planning on doing earlier.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to help me on my journey.
Yeah, of course. I'm normally kind of. I have an open schedule with rangering in that sense, but I try to aim for after the storm is when I'm normally around for rangering.
Yeah. That's another thing. The storm started right when like a regular storm started right whenever my trial started, but I powered through that.
Yeah, I'm talking about the state storm that happened in about 6 hours.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yep.
So what was the timing of that storm? You said
it's about 6.5
so
hours.
about 7 or 8 in the morning. BST,
Possibly.
depending on where you are, I reckon.
Feels like kind of a 8 p.m. in the afternoon kind of storm for me.
Oh, I'm not quite sure whether you must live way out somewhere.
Southern.
Yeah, I tend to live. I tend to lay my head down to the southeast of the region.
Some folks like to call it Australia.
Oh, okay.
The green and gold wasn't a clue.
What was the what do you say that a clue is?
The green and gold.
Ah, okay. Is that like Australian colors? Like I don't know. I know a lot. I know a little bit about Australia, but I don't know a lot about Australia. Let's see. So let me put some stuff on my horse. Let me put some stuff on my horse so I can get that brandy. Matter of fact, would you like that brandy? I don't know if you drank or not, but
You're not going to take it. I'll probably just chuck it into the saloon.
all right. Is there anything? Is there anything else, or is that everything?
Yeah, that's everything.
All right, let me get myself situated here. So I picked up this fishing rod, and I really don't. I mean, I don't want to throw it away.
You might be able to sell it back.
Oh, okay.
Most tools, or you take this as advice. Any of the tools you buy in the crossing, majority of them you can sell back. Hell, even guns. Like for example, a cattleman. A cattleman, for example, is what, $24. And if you want to clean it, so I kind of like keep mine dirty. Just a bit of a personal choice. This will actually cost more for me to clean than for me to literally just sell it back for half price and buy a new one.
Really?
Yeah, I think to repair this will cost about maybe $80. Probably more.
To use gun oil on it?
Well, because like the amount of gun oil you need to buy.
Wow, did not know that.
So in my case, it would be literally cheaper to. I'd be cheaper for me to buy a new cattleman, like just selling it for $12 and buying it back for 12.
Well, I'll make sure to remember that. Man, I'm mighty tired. If I'm being honest, it's been a hell of a night.
Yeah, I'm
You put me
exhausted.
through it tonight, but that's a good thing. I appreciate that. I feel like I learned quite a lot tonight, and I'm one step closer to hopefully getting my greens. And I really
Yeah,
appreciate
as long as
that.
just keep coming around, especially if you have to catch the ranges and they. I encourage the recruits to do it because I'm not there every day for it, making sure watching over the ranges. But just make sure those ranges are like, hey, is this suitable for me? What we're doing? Like, is this training? Like, I don't like you're making sure that the training that they're taking you with is something that you need, or even telling them, hey, I'm pretty insufficient in this area, and then you let them know.
Yeah,
'Cause sometimes I kind of feel like sometimes they're taking them out and they're doing their own internal checklist, but they're not really helping the recruit. And so the recruiter's kind of left there with their hands open, like, "What do I? Am I okay? Should I do this? Should I do that?"
yeah, yeah. So far, all the rangers have really been having me do tasks that I believe have been improving my skills overall. I don't think there's been one thing that I've done that I thought, oh well, this is useless. Like they've done a pretty good job of
Yeah,
teaching me the
that's good to
ropes.
hear.
Yeah. Like
That's good to
Wade was
hear.
going to take me on patrol out west tonight, for example, and it
Mm.
would have been a constructive thing to do because he was going to show me the western uh, stations. The but hold on, the
Yeah,
ranger stations. Yeah.
yeah. The only thing I would say against that is that with recruits particularly, also comes down to priority of what they need to be doing. Yeah, we could go do a full like crossing patrol and check all the towers in like in about 3 hours. But if we're something where we're just kind of dribbling it in and using that as our priority rather than focusing on stuff that we really need to like learning, like the push calls, wellness checks, everything that we have in our personal checklist for recruits. If that's not the our focus, then we're arguably wasting time.
Well, to his credit, he as soon as I told him that what you were going to have me do, he said, "Well, that takes priority." And as far as the bush calls partner,
Yeah, you'd already done it.
I know
Yeah,
the bush calls and then the formations. So like I know all the basics, the foundational stuff has been taught to me pretty well. So other than what you did tonight, I think the patrol would have been constructive. But he agreed as well. He said, "Well, that takes priority. Good luck and everything like that." I don't know if he just didn't feel comfortable putting me through my own trial, but you're more high ranking, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So
uh,
maybe
well, it's not too fast. I think it's protocol is that senior rangers or game wardens will do trials for folks if they're available, but they can also allow rangers to do it if they've been approved. It's just more of a
because something was already set up going. He was like, "Oh, if you're available and free, I'll take you out on a patrol." But he just
Now, as
one of those.
far as sorry,
The way I'd say is like, "Oh, someone's doing all the work. I'll just kind of let them carry on.
yeah, might as
No
well,
point for
huh?
me to interject." Yeah.
So as far as the
I think
trial, I know you said I failed, but do you think that I at least did decent on it? Like, as far as I didn't kill the right kind of bear, but like I survived, so that was good. I thought caught a bass.
uh, uh,
I got a skunk.
officially you failed.
Right, but like compared to some recruits, surely I did better than some. Like some of them don't even come back. They have to have somebody come find them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And
like
they failed too.
as far as passing and failing, do you think that affects how long it'll take me to move up?
No. Like I said, it's if you want to see it as a kind of with some kind of credit system, this has nothing to do to your overall score.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's more of me seeing your skills, so I can put judgment.
Well, I hope that you saw that I at least have survivability in my toolkit.
Right.
And then I really appreciate you doing that search and rescue. That gave me another opportunity to show you kind of what I got. I feel like that's an area I would excel at is search and rescues. Like, like as far as I wouldn't have any problem directing people as far as fanning out or sticking together and everything like that. I have no problem leading the search. So I really appreciate that you did that for me and gave me that opportunity to show you that.
Yep. No, I'm fine with that. It's something I was planning to do from the start. It's more of whether I was going to get it in before or after it. And I thought while we're on the mountain and Jeremiah was with us, it was perfect timing.
It absolutely was. Now, if I hadn't have found you, obviously that wouldn't have been good. But luckily, we did indeed find you.
That's why we have the extra ranger there, because I told him where I was. So if anything were to happen, he could either maybe suggest or guide you to the right area, and then you could go from there.
He told me the general area, and he let me lead, and then he asked me what we should do, and I told him we should go off in this direction. But he spotted the horse, even though he did say that it was under my supervision and telling him where we should look. Like he was the one to spot the horse first, and like he asked me what we should do from there, and I said we should go in this direction, and there you were. Kind of creeped me out, if I'm being honest. You were just standing there next to that totem pole, and I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" Howdy, partner.
Sweeney, it's a pleasure to meet you. Howdy, Peter.
Your name's Tony James. Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, I don't want to interrupt, but Peter, I did do a few laps around the ranch about 2 hours or so ago, and I also was hoping if you're still got any gems in your possession, at some point to make a purchase of 2,000.
I think I'm pretty low in stock right now, but I can probably tell you the rest I have.
No, it's quite all right. I can wait. I'm not going to be spending. You know how you and I talked about $1,000, go under that every 1,000 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay right at where I'm at, so there's no rush at all.
Yeah, I enjoy skimming the top. So
Exactly.
if I can get to the next 1,000, I'll do it. But if I'm not, I'll take it down to the next lowest 1,000.
Yeah, sure thing.
So like 7,900 is 7,000 to me.
All right, I like the way you think then. But I can do that Sunday or Monday. I'll be gone for a couple days, so don't worry about it.
Okay, I do have a couple orders. Arguably a priority order, which was kind of annoying because they requested gems previously, and I was getting a confirmation, but I didn't get a confirmation 23 days later. And then literally the day I sold like $7,000 worth of gems, they telegrammed me 4 hours after that to be like, "Hey, I'd like some gems." Like,
Well, you waited almost a month, fella. Sorry.
fuck me. But
It's quite alright, bro.
That's something I'm kind of I'm actually. I know you're
wait.
wanting to buy gems, right?
Yeah, I can wait. Don't worry about it.
Well, I need to talk about that with everybody as well. But yeah, it's good. Just give it a good work, Tony. Don't let the trial eat you. Use it as a kind of a springboard to show what you need, rather than like how you failed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think after you showed me all those places, I think that was really what helped me learn the most tonight. So I appreciate that you did that for me.
Yep, it should be done with every trial. If if you weren't unable to find him, so we want to make sure. Again, it's all about learning.
Well, I appreciate that that's not, a prerequisite to becoming a ranger, because like those trials can be kind of hard.
Yeah, if it used to be back in the day, especially for myself. But that was something where trials were only issued when the ranger was ready.
Yeah, well, if I may say, I just want you to know that I do feel comfortable as far as becoming a ranger. Like, I think that I'll pull my own weight, and
Yeah, I get that.
I just want you to know I do feel very capable now as a result of all the training I've received.
Yeah, just keep coming around, and I'm sure time will tell.
Yeah, I definitely intend to keep coming around. As I can, like, I'll see some rangers move up fast, and I know that it's all based on the time you put in. So I do plan on putting in more time.
There's context with that though.
Yeah, I guess they're just more prepared, really. This is what I can figure.
A good ranger, in my eyes, is a ranger with the right attitude.
I agree. I feel like my attitude's pretty good. Like, overall, I feel like I have a good attitude. Like, I don't really.
Yeah, the best advice I can give you is just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know it's a very vague, and it's something that I've been given a lot in my life. But just keep the same trajectory that you're doing. Learn from your mistakes. Get that that homework in. Just kind of learning some basic reps, and you never know. Before you know it, you might have the puncher.
Yeah, the way I look at it is, the longer I'm in the grays, the more prepared I'll be when the time comes. Like, because like, if they were to have moved me up, say, a month ago, well, maybe I wouldn't have been as prepared, as I am now.
Yep. You also need to think about it in not so much the time that you spent in the gray, but the time you've actually clocked in gray. There's a big difference.
Well, I stay clocked in. As soon as I'm in the crossing, the first thing I do is come to Strawberry and work on all that. I mean, I've done several searches, some successful, some not, and several patrols. And I have all the foundational stuff down. Like, if they were to give a test, like, on paper, I feel like I would pass that. Like, what are formations? Like, bush calls. Like, what do you do if you run into outlaws and all that? I feel like I'd pass that test with flying colors. And my survivability since becoming a ranger has skyrocketed. Like, before I becoming a recruit, before I was a recruit, I mean, I had never even held a Lancaster, and now I'm killing wolves like it's nobody's business. So
it's not really a secret, but I haven't even ever fired a bolt action.
You still haven't?
Nope.
Do you just prefer not to use the bolt action?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan.
Yeah, they only hold 5 bullets. I mean, that could be one thing that people won't like, is that it only holds 5 bullets. But those bullets have some stopping power.
Yep.
Well, I reckon I don't want to keep you much longer. I know you got things to do and people waiting on you. So I reckon I'm gonna head back to Strawberry. Oh, before I go, you were talking about gems. So that's obviously, that sounded quite lucrative. What do people just trade gems as like a currency?
Yeah, I specifically buy and sell mostly for the folks in West.
So that's all that gems are used for, is as currency, or maybe as a gift or things like that?
Yeah, mostly currency exchange.
Okay. I was just curious because that sounded like some high dollar stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, if you go and mine and get gems, bring them to me. I'll give you pretty much top, probably the best sale you could get.
What if they're uncut gems?
Same price.
Oh wow, okay. Well, I know mining can be a tedious process.
Yep. But sometimes you just got a couple hours to yourself, and
Yeah, I've ate, slept, and basically shit strawberries since I became a recruit. So I do need to branch out and find some time for myself so that I don't get burnt out. But
yeah, that's
I view it
heavily
like,
encouraged to get that work life balance.
well, I view it like a military almost. Like I'm putting in my time, I'm learning everything, and like if I spend most of my time being a ranger, like it'll be second nature. Like that would be in effect my job, and then everything else would be secondary to that. Is kind of
Yeah.
my thinking on it. But yeah, I'll let you get on to what you was doing. But thanks again for tonight. It was a real eye-opening experience. I knew going into it before the trial, I knew I was going to have some struggles. If I'm being honest, don't know those key areas like the sundial. I knew the cave that you were talking about, but I didn't go there. That was a
Yeah.
mistake that I
Well,
could have.
that's why I gave you the clues onto it.
Yeah,
A lot of the times I will not add the clues for specific ranges. So I'm expecting them to be aware of certain areas, or very much, I guess, my own history or my own kind of experiences that I'm a treasure hunter. So I've scoured this land with nearly every minute detail as possible. I'm very confident where things are, and so if I have or a sense that someone else has that kind of similar eye, I'll challenge them for it.
yeah. I would say everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. I hope that you can see my strengths and what I do bring to the table. Uh, you know, because like we're all going to have our strengths and our weaknesses, and
Yep.
that's just part of
Yep.
being human. But like I feel like I do have strengths. I hope that those are seen by the Rangers. I don't want to go into a spiel, but sometimes I feel like some Rangers don't really believe in me. But Jeremiah said that that's not the case. That they do believe, and that I should keep trying. And
Yeah. Don't assume malice. Just always kind of just it's better to kind of believe that someone has your best intentions first.
yeah, I think that when they give people the harder trials and the harder searches and such, if anything, it shows that they do believe in the person because they're not giving them like great planes,
Yep.
They're,
Yep. Yeah. I completely agree.
so I think that you're right. I need to start looking at it in that light. That they're giving me these challenges because they believe that I can take on these challenges and succeed. And even
Yep.
though I did fail on paper, I feel like I did show you something tonight as far as my survivability, and I
Yeah.
think that is a key to being a ranger.
Yep.
All right, well, I know they're waiting. I don't want them to get angry. Uh, so I guess I'm gonna head back to Strawberry and say bye to Jeremiah, and I'm gonna be off for the night. Do you tend to be on or be in the crossing around this time most of the time towards the weekends? Is that your preferred time?
At the moment, I'll be around when you saw me up until the next 8 hours
I'll go ahead and
on
let you,
an average day.
well, I'll go ahead and let you know. Like, you probably won't be seeing me on like the Mondays and the Tuesdays. Like, I have a pretty
Hmm.
busy, schedule, but I'll definitely be around. And thank you again, man. I can't thank you enough for allowing me the opportunity to show you what I got. I mean, I could have came in there today and you could have just said, "Well, I got things to do," and you didn't do that. You focused on me, and I really appreciate that.
That's why I'm there. And it's all we're trying to do, especially focusing on Blackwater. Even the folks in that barn, in that stable there, where we always trying to help folks. It's what the ranch do. So it's one of our focuses. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, with the rangers, whether I'm on duty or any other rangers on duty, I'll even just send a telegram. Maybe we're out and about doing our own thing, but we're still at arms when needed.
yeah,
Just gotta
absolutely.
reach out.
Yeah. Feel like I could talk to you for hours, but obviously you got things to do, so I guess I'm gonna head on. I feel like I had something else to say, but if I remember, I'll talk to you about it next time. And
Yeah, that's right. Just yeah, use everything you did today and prove yourself against it and become a better man for it.
yeah, I just don't want it
Very
to be
basic.
be a situation where they're thinking like, oh, he ain't got it. Like
Nah, 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 absolutely not.
like I'll continue to work hard and everything, and I hope that's another thing that shows, like you said about attitude. Like you got to have a good attitude when you watch other people come and get promoted, and you've been here, putting in the time. And you got to have the right
It
attitude.
yeah, it reflects back on the other rangers when if jealousy does come and envy becomes when other rangers get promoted. It shows that, or if anything, it's almost like a test for them in the sense that if you can watch, your seniors or peers be promoted and you take that as everything rather than more of a group effort of showing accepting their success. It makes people double think on like, well, should we even promote them if they're just gonna kind of use it as a power thing or rubbing somebody's nose in it.
I agree. Like anytime somebody gets promoted, I'm happy for them. Like, and I have yet to see a ranger that's gotten promoted that didn't, at least in my
Yeah,
eyes, seem like they were ready. Like Jeremiah and
we're very direct with our promotions because it becomes a specifically for the higher ranks like seniors and game wardens that everybody, and it's not just us ourselves that are currently there, but it's also past rangers that have put those rangers in power, that they have that faith from all the rangers to make their decisions, and they're not making them lightly, and they're giving and coming to those people with those offers of promotion because they see that they are ready.
yeah, no, I agree. Uh, like I said, I haven't seen a ranger yet that's gotten promoted that didn't deserve it. What I was saying is like you just have to have the right temperament to be able to deal with that. Because like a
Yeah.
lot of people would have quit.
Yeah, at the end
But
of the day, we're all rangers regardless of rank. We all do the same thing. We're all going out doing search and rescues. If anything, a few of us just have more paperwork.
yeah, that's something I do look forward to. Is like hopefully getting to do some paperwork.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon I'm gonna head to Strawberry and see you around in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, keep up the good work.
All right. Well, thank you, Rockwell. I reckon I'll see you later.
See you, Tony.
You sit down if you're gonna be in the back.
Jeremiah,
Welcome back.
has it been has there been any tips or anything come in?
Nah, I just checked it like a minute ago. Everything was good.
I
How's your
reckon
time in Blackwater?
it was good. I had a long conversation with Rockwell. I feel like I have this problem where I will I'll say what's on my mind too much.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
get that. Yeah.
And like I'll like because like I feel like I talk too much about stuff. Like I was talking to you about how some rangers like with you, I see why you got promoted. You're very experienced, and with every ranger that I've seen so far come in and get promoted, like they're very experienced, and it shows why they were promoted.
Right.
But I was just talking to him about how like you got to have the right attitude, like because like if you see people come in and get promoted, like that's what I told him. I was like, well, I can see why I said every person I've seen get promoted deserved it. Like I could see that.
Yeah.
But I said, but it also takes the right kind of temperament to deal with that because you feel like you're putting in all this time and work and effort, and you feel like you're basically just as capable. And for some reason, like they're not looking your way to promote you.
Yeah. Well, the hard part, the thing to consider there that's hard is they want, when you are close, when you are getting your green, they want it to be special for you. So sometimes, like less delicate people, they opt to just not talk to you at all because they don't want to give something away or things like that. Like they want it to be a surprise at the end of the day. So even if you do get close, some of them won't outright say it.
Well, I can tell you, partner, it's going to be special because I have, like I was telling him, I have ate, slept, and shit strawberry since I became a recruit. Like, I'm going to appreciate it. That's for sure. But I feel like you appreciated it too. But you're just more ready. Like you had more experience.
Yeah, I'm more perceptive than most also, so I kind of can see some of the signs, but I wanted them to like feel like they was surprising me too, so it's kind of like that balancing act there, right? But yeah, it was definitely very special the way it happened. I appreciate it how it did happen, and then cherry on the top was I got to go out that patrol with you the next day, so which gave me a lot of confidence in the green. So,
well, I gotta tell you, like, there aren't many rangers I prefer. I would say there probably aren't any that I prefer over your company when it comes to being out there. Like you have a really easy to get along with personality. So if and when I hopefully get my greens, hopefully we'll be doing more patrols together and searches. I feel like we work well together.
Yeah, we definitely work well together. I agree with everything you're saying there, and that's just from my personal standpoint. I'll definitely tell you, I don't think it's possible to talk too much around me. So if you want to talk about things when they're on your mind, I want you to feel empowered to do that. So you
honestly, our partner, I feel like that's why right when I came up to you, I started talking to you about it because I do feel like you're one of the few that I can confide in. That's not to say I couldn't confide in the others. It's just that like you're like me. You've only been in the system, so to speak, for so long. I feel like we have that bond there, and you're just I don't know. You're easy to talk to. That's just some of them like it's not as easy to talk to them.
I get you. I appreciate you saying that though. That's definitely something I try and be. So I'm glad to know people recognize it.
Yeah. So how has the paperwork been? Has that been a good experience?
Yeah, it's pretty. It's like it feels overwhelming at first, but once you do it, just even one or two times, you kind of understand it. It's that game of depending on who's teaching you, it feels like there's certain expectations attached. But the more different perspectives you get, the more you realize that everyone has their own way doing it. So I'll make sure to help you when you get to that point, so you don't feel too overwhelmed.
Yeah, and I know that Pugsy likes teaching. He'll probably want to teach me. It seems like he gets giddy when it comes to paperwork, don't he?
Yeah, definitely. He likes to go the extra mile. Puts in a lot of detail with the stuff. So, which is always really good because in the end, it helps everybody. Even if there's times I don't feel too confident, I'll go back in some paperwork, look at how he handled something in a similar area, and it kind of gives me a good idea of what's about to happen.
Yeah, there's something else I was gonna say, but I forgot. But But yeah, he's always been really into the paperwork. That's one thing I've noticed about him. He's a good ranger, though. I think.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. You know, I try to teach them a little bit about stuff because, like I said, one of the biggest things is like with the individual, like they know how they need to talk and what they need to do with a recruit as a recruit, but then they sometimes through doing that don't see the individual in front of them. And so I kind of got to play that balance with you guys, like whenever I have the chance around you, and be like, hey, you know what? You know, I need to tell you, like, I at the end of the day, I could do what we're doing by myself. So I want you to have some experience. I'm gonna like I'm very clear on that communication. Like earlier, is like I want you to lead right now. If I feel like you're gonna put us in a tight situation, that's when I'll speak up. But other than that, have the confidence that if I ain't said nothing yet, you're doing all right.
Well, you've never made me feel that way. Like you've always made me feel like you're talking to the person and not to the poncho, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, you definitely are good when it comes to that. But yeah, like I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep working hard and showing up, and that's all I can do. You know, like
yeah. You know, you can just put your best foot forward, and I see you doing that. And I know, even if they don't say it at times, I know everyone else is seeing it too. You know, it's nothing but good things.
well, that's
It's
awesome to
probably
hear.
it's probably just people's hesitations when it comes to their own personal experience of time or such, or if someone personally hasn't seen you around a lot, and that's where the trust of everyone comes in. So if they know people they trust is putting in good words, that's good enough for them. So
Yeah,
you ain't gotta feel, you know, because that's often when people have that habit of feeling like they speak too much, is because they don't want to be misunderstood and stuff. And you know, like I said,
exactly.
we're all human at the end of the day, so it's gonna feel that way more times than not, anyways. So we got to put the trust in the people around us with that green, and understand that's our biggest strength is the teamwork that we build with one another.
I agree, and I tell you, it all starts from your interview the first day. You know, like I don't know who decided to give you the opportunity to become a recruit, but
Yeah,
Patterson saw something in me, and I don't want to let him down. You know,
absolutely.
because they can turn people away when it comes to after the interview. But Patterson, he thought highly enough of me to bring me right in, and I don't want to let him down, and I don't want to let myself down or any of y'all. So I definitely
Yeah,
want
you
to keep
know,
working.
and their experience, you know, so that should, you know, you got to have the confidence that they have in you. So you got to internalize that and just realize, like, yeah, something was seen in me, you know. So now it's my job to see if and like Rockwell, the point he was trying to make earlier, it's like, yeah, so I need to see when I don't understand something, so all I can do in that moment is speak up.
Yeah, I'm so happy that he gave me that chance to do that mock search. Like,
Absolutely.
because like failing that trial, I was just kind of down, and I was like, man, I didn't do good, but I did good in
Yeah,
surviving. But then he gave me that opportunity, and I feel like that outshone the trial. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely. That's why I made sure to stick around, because he told me when I first got here, because I was just originally coming here to check to make sure no one was by themselves or didn't feel overwhelmed. And then he was like, hey, when this guy gets back from his trial, we're gonna try and do a mock search while there's a couple of us if you can help. And I was like, oh yeah, it's Tony. Yeah, hell yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I feel like you got my back, you know, and I got yours too.
Oh,
If you need
absolutely.
anything, uh, like matter of fact, you should give me your telegram, and I'll give you mine. And that way, if you know if you ever need anything, even outside of being a ranger, you know, if you just need somebody to have your back or go
Yeah,
hunting or
yeah,
anything. All
yeah.
right.
I completely share that sentiment. You ever need anything, you let me know. Just let me know when you're ready for it.
Yeah, and I'll send you a telegram before I go to bed. That way you can have my telegram.
All right.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. So it's the letter U 367.
UU367.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, anytime you're around, you can always poke me to see if I'm about. If you want to go for a ride, if you want, like I said, you want some tips on that fishing. That was when I first came to crossing. That was all I did was fishing and hunting. So that's why I know certain areas really well. I know a lot of the habits of the animals. I can give any pointers. You know, I ain't ever think no one's stupid or less just because they're asking questions that might seem obvious to others. You know, I like to offer people the benefit of the doubt above all else. So
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe we can go hunting sometime. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, I'd love that. I gotta go get me a new bow. I don't want that. I didn't want that lady to be without a weapon, so I gave it to her.
Oh, that was nice of you. I've never shot a bow. I have to think about if I'm going to go buy a bow. How much do those cost?
So the old man in Wapiti got them for $55, but well worth the investment once you learn. The best tip I give you is get a pair of these gloves I got on, because these knots on the knuckles can help you with your aiming with the bow until you get more confident with it.
Can you not buy those at the gun store, or you just would suggest the people of Wapiti?
It's at the gun store. They only got the regular bows. You want one of the stronger ones. The man at Wapiti is the only one that got them in the crossing. So I'll go up there with you. We'll get some.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let me make sure I know where. So they're up there about the
Yeah.
Wapiti Indian Reservation.
Yeah, just up there, and there's a old man in white clothing standing by their little hut that they rent out, and he sells it, and he's got like tomahawks too, which are really good. They
Yeah,
bundle real
I need a
nicely.
tomahawk. I need to get one of those. How much is a tomahawk?
Tomahawks, I think, is like, I want to say it's either $10 or $15, something like that. But like I said, they bundle up real nice, so you can have two of them on you and throw them in succession and such like that, which is really good. And they're just as strong, if not stronger, than like the hatchets or the cleavers and such. So they're like definitely my choice. It's just because of where you gotta go up is why some people don't have them.
Yeah, I thought that was mighty impressive when Rockwell took that bear out with a tomahawk or a hatchet. I'm not sure which, but
Oh, I think his is a cleaver. He said.
a cleaver. I can't believe that. Threw a damn cleaver at a bear and knocked the bear
Yeah.
down. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's why I ran into that tree. I was trying to get the different angle in case he got on you too much. And then Springfield he gets so scared of them, he ain't used to it yet. So he just smacked me right in a tree because like my reins do nothing at that point for him.
Yeah, I thought
But
we handled all of our predatory encounters really well tonight.
oh yeah. That's just my nature. Is I try and look for the like angle or position that's not being covered. I'm like a better backup than most. I let someone else lead, and it was especially if there's no plan involved right in the moment. But yeah, we all handled that really well. I think everything today was really good. Like just for feedback's sake, that's why I say some of these I do, but there's not a lot of weight behind it because I know and I can already see that you're working on all those things, so it just feels like repeating at that point.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep. I definitely take everything that you say into consideration, and I'll definitely keep working on everything. I put too much time in it, to give up now.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Well, partner, I reckon I'm gonna head off to bed. I'm sure I'll be seeing you in the crowd. Well, I'm gonna go telegram you, and then I'm gonna head
Yeah.
off to bed.
Yeah, like I said, just anytime you want, you first get up, you sure what's going on, you can always send me a telegram. I'm usually around like more often than I'm not anyway, so
Do you just prefer not to be on duty, or do you
so
like
there's
to
certain
spend?
times I got other things I do like in Armadillo and such, so until I get like stationed down there officially, I usually don't get on duty unless I know I'm gonna be around here. Or like I said, if I know there's only like one or two people on and they might be spread thin, because usually when I'm around, I'm already paying attention anyways. I can kind of tell based off certain signs when things are getting a little busier than not. And I always check in every once so often wherever I'm going to whatever the nearest tower is to like just see what tips have been coming in, see what the feeling is for the day, and then you make a judgment call then and there. But yeah, there's times where I really commit to being on duty for a good couple hours, and there's times where it's just like when I know someone is gonna most likely need help.
Well, what do you do in Armadillo, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm a rider, riding, ranger, and gambling, as I tell people. So,
You write? You say you write?
Yeah, yes sir.
What? So do you sell those books to people?
Well, right now I'm in the process of copying them over, making copies. I got the master copy with me, and I'm just we ain't got the printing press up yet, so you got to do everything by hand. So I've been just writing the same book over and over, so I have a couple copies.
Well, I definitely would be
start
interested in
initial
getting
selling.
one. Whenever you start
Oh,
selling
yeah.
them, let me know.
Yeah, I'll
I,
let you know.
I fancy myself a wordsmith as well. I don't spend
Well-
as much time. I'm sure I don't write books, but I do write poems.
I tell you what, that's gonna be our first patrol, going somewhere nice and writing one together. All right.
That sounds real. That sounds real good. Yeah, it's always nice to find another wordsmith.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's probably it's like we got a lot of things in common. Like I already tell, that's why we get along so well. And so I can tell you see things others don't, and that's a good skill to have. So we'll get on that, make it nice and special for you. Get somewhere. I got a couple places in mind already. We'll figure it out. I'll show you one of the. I wrote something to some guitar earlier. I'll show you that later when you got some time, and I'll show you the book and such too. We'll make a day of it.
Absolutely, I love music. Maybe we'll write a song or two.
Yeah.
Who knows? We could be performers in the future. You just never know. I'd have to get a guitar first. But.
That's what I spent all day doing yesterday. I was just going to random parts in the crossing and playing for people. Like I said, my brand entertainment, I like to remind people it's okay to slow down in the crossing. I see so much. I've seen so much, especially in the crossing. And just some people are just always in that rush for some reason or the other. So you remind them that good things exist in the small places too.
I really like that. Yeah, we definitely got to do that in the future.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to hang out. I appreciate you just tell me when you're about to, even if we're not going on duty. We'll go find something to get into. I'm sure I'll introduce you to some people.
Yeah, do you sing or anything like that?
So I ain't a singer. I do more of the spoken word type. So there's just those basic campfire songs everyone learns when they're growing up. You just grab a guitar and play it. And I've been trying to put words to some of them. So that's one of the first ones I have. I do it more in a spoken word style. I do want to learn more singing styles, and I'm gonna eventually learn to play my own songs on that guitar. But the only things I know is really what I've learned watching people at campfires. I grew up in native land, so it's like you get a lot of travelers, and that's kind of how they pass the time, is just playing simple songs and such. So I don't know the names of them, but I know the tune. My fingers know the way.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Well, that's exciting. I'm excited to read this book. What's it about?
Well, it's gonna be a series, a 3-part series. They're about some of the tall tales I've heard through my time in the crossing, and which is like a small part of it, right? But they're about these strange people and somebody in the store meeting this strange person, and it's kind of like suspenseful, and you learn more and more about the person as they hang out day to day until like the big mystery and stuff at the end. But I still don't answer all the questions because it's going to be part of a series. There's going to be the aim is it's a campfire story that anyone can pick up, and if they just read it out loud to people, it's like they're telling a kind of spooky story at a campfire.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do you think
that's going to be 3 different ones of them?
Do you think that it's one of those things where, since you're having to copy them over, that once somebody reads it, they should try to pass it on to the next person?
They could if they want to. That's definitely a possibility. But obviously purchasing a book is for whatever they want to do with it.
Yeah.
You could probably help me in that regard if you ever want to, and making copies, because it's easier if someone can dictate it for me so I can write it without hearing it. Otherwise, I gotta keep looking at my other book and then writing, and looking at my other book and writing.
I wouldn't mind helping you with that at all, partner. We'll set aside some time, and I'll read it out to you, and you can write it down.
Yeah, that would make things a lot easier, I tell you. And it's so that's just to keep myself sharp. I've been trying. That's why I've been doing this challenge of mine, trying to there's already the music there. Can I make something fit with it? And that's the first one I did. It's about 2 minutes long that I got for this first one. And then the big plan for me is because my Nana passed about a year back now. And
I'm
she
sorry
was
to hear
really,
that.
I appreciate that. She was really big on mystery books. So I'm doing these first 3 as these campfire stories, and then I'm going to write a bigger one about a detective lady who is picking up that trail basically of these abominations and figuring out where they came from, and that's what the last book's going to be about.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. We'll get together on it, and we'll set aside some time, and I have no problem dictating that stuff for you to improve the process so that you can get these books out as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna do a special reading of it. We got a. I don't know if anyone told you because you can't see the board, but we got a Ranger Ball for Halloween happening next month.
How's that work? Do we wear costumes or what?
So they are gonna have a costume contest. You ain't gotta do one if you don't want, but it's basically we set time aside where all of us Rangers are gonna go to a place, just us, and then we're all gonna enjoy each other's company, get to know each other, tell stories around the fire, and they got a couple secret activities planned they haven't told anybody about yet that we'll do. Usually it's like a horse race or a scavenger hunt or like just activities for all of, like bonding experiences, you know.
Oh, absolutely. I'd definitely be interested in that. Is that actually on Halloween or is it before?
They had they have a sheet with a paper. I know you can't see it, but we voting on one of the weekends. It's gonna be either let me check my I have a note here. Let me check it.
All right.
Because it will be a Saturday. They're just deciding which Saturday works best for everyone. And
Oh,
the two
okay.
options is the 21st of October or the 28th of October.
I'd say either of those work for me. I usually have my Saturdays open as long as it's like not too late at night.
Yeah, what's your stars again? Just so I'm aware.
My stars.
Like, what stars is you under? You know, like the crossing. Most people are under the New York stars. You know?
Yeah, I reckon I'm under the New York stars, the Eastern Standard.
Yeah, so it's gonna be either 6 or 7 p.m. at that decided
Okay.
day, depending on how the votes go.
Yeah, that'd be great. I can definitely attend that. I'll just keep in touch with you, and you can let me know what day they decide.
Yeah, you know, and depending on what goes on when they talk to people, you know, I might not even have to tell you by then.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job of sending out memos to the recruits saying, "Hey, we're having this event or that event."
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I ain't part of that side of things. Those are things I ain't really
Well,
aware of. At
I'm
times.
hoping to sooner rather than later being able to read the board and everything. But until then, I'm just going to like go through you. If I don't get any memos or anything, I'll just go through you, and you can tell
Yeah,
me
yeah.
about that stuff.
Yeah, always feel free. Like I said, you know, that's the way I live my life. You know, hardest thing someone can do is ask for help. Once they do that, I will do anything in my power.
All right. Well, sounds like we got some stuff we got to do.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. I'm real excited, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I'll be able to help you quite a bit when it comes to dictating the books for you. That way, you'll be able to speed up that process. And then we'll write something
Yeah.
together too. That'll be good.
No, yeah, I'm gonna put a lot of work into that. You know, I want a nice special thing. I ain't to like tell you just how special it's gonna be. You know, I ain't practicing writing with other people, so it's gonna be a learning experience, and I think we'll come up with something really good by the end of it.
I agree. Well, partner, I reckon I'm gonna head off to bed if I can sleep. I mean, I'm starting to get excited here.
Yeah, you go send that telegram and get yourself sleep. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next to you around.
Yeah, Jeremiah, it was good seeing you, buddy. Until
Always
next
good to
time.
see you.
Have a good one, bud.
You too.
Okay, well, that sounds pretty good. I like to write, you know, and I didn't know Jeremiah was a writer, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna help him with his books so he can get those churned out, and we'll see what we can write together. Tony was mighty tired after all the ranger trials and searches that he had done that night. Even though he only did one ranger trial and one search, he was still pretty tired. So he decided he was going to take himself a bath and head on to bed. After some stew, of course. Sterling, I know I sometimes get grumpy, but I think you're a good horse. I just want you to know that. It's not easy having to deal with all the things we have to deal with, but you deal with it as best you can, and I really appreciate that. So don't you go thinking I don't like you, Sterling. I surely do.